Step 4, when it comes to hope on the outside, get spiritual or religious. Now, don't get radicalized though, but yes, get spiritual. The first thing you need is a lot of unconditional love, care, and peace in your life, in your heart, and in your world. What's more, have you ever heard of the difference between thoughts or actions of the flesh and thoughts of the spirit? Well, thoughts of the flesh are what gets us in trouble. Physical addictions, such as food, makes us overweight, drugs, sex, alcohol. Those are flesh-related, well, I say problems, but you know what I mean. Those are flesh-related activities. Kindness, forgiveness, discipline, those are thoughts or acts of the spirit. Sure, mental health and psychological disorders are mental or mind-related. Still, the spirit is what we all must have in our lives to help keep us clean and pure and on a healthy path for life and finding and giving and receiving love into it. So the more in spirit and pure, as white as the driven snow, that you can be with your thoughts and your actions and not give in to fleshly temptations, the better off you'll be in the long run. Do you read the Bible? Have you ever read the Bible? Do you have one? I recommend you get one and start reading the following sections that I'm going to talk about. Proverbs first, and all of it. Proverbs in the Bible. Love it. Live it out. Live what you read. Then read the following sections that I'll get into in a minute. But real quick though, what should you do if you want spiritual wisdom through religion? And first of all, I just recommend that you start reading the Bible. Don't worry, you don't have to become religious to read the Bible, per se. You can become spiritual without, getting too deep into what the Bible teaches, etc., etc. Depending on your current spiritual or religious leaning, I would just do quick research on all the major religions, per se, and their teachings with a quick internet search. Search for, top 10 religions. Take a close look at the belief systems of each religion you are interested in, per se. What proof does each have? Any evidence of historical truth, church ideologies, documentation, eyewitness accounts, and ask questions about the religious views on life and death and eternity and more. In a sense, all religions lead to God. The major world religions and their beliefs about God include Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and the New Age. Now, are there other religions worth looking into? Certainly. But I'd recommend you stick with the top 10, then extend your research and study with Christianity. Why not start at the top? It's the most popular religion on earth, Christianity. To date, there are some 2.4 billion Christian followers. Not a bad party to attend with that many people, eh? By the way, I'm a part of that party, Christian. It works for me. Just stay clear of any religion that legitimizes or does nothing about murdering other people of different faiths in the name of their religion. That's not a religion. It's a death cult, still living in the Stone Age. Another tip, research why people have defected or left a particular religion lately. The stories you will read that I've read them, they tell of female genital mutilation, female rights oppression, violence and murder against non-believers and apostates, and from family members and friends, and sex and marriage with underage children as young as 6 years old. Among other crimes against humanity. No, I'm sorry. Again, that's not a religion of peace, but the devil's religion. Absolutely heinous. Stay away from them. On a lighter note, there's nothing wrong with being a little curious when it comes to religion. It's been around for centuries. Why not look into it if you haven't already. If you want to know where to begin, again, start by reading the Bible. You could read it online, or you could buy your own at a local bookstore, or someone could send you a Bible. For your information, the New International Version, the NIV, New International Version of the Bible, offers a great translation of the ancient Greek and Hebrew texts. It's clear, direct, modern English, making it easy to read and understand. Now, the Bible, for your knowledge, is broken up into two main sections: the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament records the giving of God's law, and the New Testament shows how Jesus, the Messiah, fulfilled that law in Matthew's and Hebrews. In the Old Testament, God's dealing with, mostly his people, the Jews. In the New Testament, God's dealings are mainly with his church, Matthew 16:18, which my favorite scriptures are Proverbs, and the others, which I have going to mention here, that I recommend you read first. In the Old Testament, certainly Genesis, Leviticus, Numbers, Exodus, Chronicles 2, Deuteronomy, Psalms, Chronicles 1, Proverbs, Song of Solomon. Some of these are worth repeating. Psalms, Proverbs, Deuteronomy, Song of Solomon, Ezekiel, Chronicles. Those are all good ones to go after and get some just common sense instruction on how to live your life. Proverbs is the best. Psalms is good. In the New Testament, which is my favorite, in the New Testament, it's just loaded with great life advice. And it's about you, being good to yourself and how to keep yourself clean. We got the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Philippians, Colossians, Timothy, Peter, John, Revelations. Just, if you got time on your hands, read these sections. Now, as you start to read the Bible, take your time, jump around. I did. You don't have to read it from start to finish. I'd recommend you start with Proverbs, then jump to any of the other sections or books that they call there in the New Testament, which is what I just read: Matthew, Mark, Luke, Romans, Corinthians, Timothy, Peter, John, Revelations, etc. Honestly, I know you'll find some good reading throughout the book that will be good for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Read a few pages before going to bed. Read a few pages whenever you get a break. Take the Bible wherever you go. Keep a pen or highlighter nearby. Carefully underline and or highlight those passages that you find especially meaningful to you. The next time you open your Bible, those messages will surface to remind you of what's important to live by. Give yourself at least a year or longer to read the Bible in its entirety and then read it again. Think about how you can apply the passages to your daily life. How can they be applied to those closest to you? Can you share some of what you learned with others that you know? From your readings, take note of how the experience has positively influenced your life, your faith, and spirituality. Now, real quick, on a side note, kind of a funny note, but it's still serious. My religion. Yes, Bart Smith here, author of Hope on the Outside Has a Religion. I call it Bartology. And that's if I were to have a religion of my own. What would I call it? I'd call it Bartology. But if and when I started my own religion, I'd have 3 tenets for everyone to follow. Just 3 simple rules. It's real simple. 3 rules. If we were all to just follow these 3 rules, I think the world would be a better place. Let's see for yourself, right? Here they come. Rule number 1. of Bartology, my religion. Be nice. Don't hurt anyone. Don't be rude. Don't cut people off. Be patient. Don't be mean. Speak kindly of others. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Walk away from fights while standing your ground, etc. Be nice. Being nice would cause everyone to be nicer to one another. Something we don't get a lot in this world, right? Rule number 2, don't touch anybody. Keep your hands to yourself, unless you have an invitation or permission. This would stop all the molestations, kidnappings, pedophilia, rape, and anything else related to BS when someone touches you or lays a hand on you without your permission. Folks, can we just keep our hands to ourselves? Just don't touch me. And don't you touch anybody. But that's the thing. Don't touch anybody unless you have that invitation or permission. Your wife or your husband or girlfriend, boyfriend, or your parents. They want to give you a hug on the way out the door. Hey, I get it. That's cool. But still, just if they're a stranger to you, you don't know anybody, you don't know this person, do not touch them. Don't touch anybody. Rule number 2. Rule number 3, don't kill anybody. Sheesh. This is a big one. If people around the world wouldn't kill other people, whether it's in the name of their religion or for spite, anger, depression, financial reasons, those people who got killed could go on to live happier lives ever after. Alive. I just read in the news like 10 minutes ago about a woman walking up behind another woman in New York City with a gun and shooting her right there, assassination style, right there in the streets. She just broke rule number 3, don't kill anybody. And what's going to happen? She's eventually going to get caught. She eventually will see probably 10, 20 years in jail because of an act that took literally, 1 minute out of her life to pull that trigger. And now she's going to be, where she's going to be. It ain't worth it. Say goodbye to pizza. Say goodbye to having a cold beer. Say goodbye to all the things the joys of life, going to the beach, hanging out with friends, sleeping in, and not having those lights cut on at 5 a.m. in the morning. Oh, gross. So while there are tons of religions out there with tons of rules, I have just 3. Live by these 3 rules, and the world would be a nicer and a safer place to live. What do you think? Do you want to join my religion? So, good stuff. Hey, how can faith save you from addictions, inner torments, and other forms of mental and physical BS? Well, I don't get why a few people would want to trash, discredit, devalue, or push aside or outright squash something that so many millions and even billions of people find comfort in and even life-saving. Talk about the definition of a real bully. I find that faith in something beyond yourself really can save your life and your soul by living a life of prostitution, quitting drugs, getting off welfare, ending unhealthy sexual relationships and lifestyles, putting an end to physical, mental, and emotional abuse of others, and forgiving those who might have committed horrible acts against you. You might question, how can having faith rid your mind and heart, soul and body of these things? Well, the stronger your faith in something spiritual, non-flesh, such as faith, happens to lift you out of whatever hell you're going through. The stronger your faith literally helps you out, just like throwing a rope into the hole your soul is wasting in. When you grab that rope and hold on tightly And with the help of others who are also there to help you get up and out, miracles can happen. Having faith in what's possible, what's wholesome, what's good, what's right and just is what lifts you out of the darkness and into the light. That's the power of love, faith, and everything that involves what it is that we should be doing, which is living healthy, normal, straight lives of goodness towards ourselves and others. All else is, or can be, or lead to, you got it, self-destructive behaviors, defeating habits, death, and disease. So, have faith. If you're in trouble, unhappy, distraught, down and out, believe you can get up and out. It's been done before by millions of people before you. You're not the only one that's going through what it is you're going through. You just might be next to be saved. Have faith. It'll get you out of almost anything. Good stuff.